The trade station called Nexus 7 floated in the dark space between three star systems. It was massive. Thousands of ships docked at its ports every day. Millions of beings from dozens of species walked its corridors. They came to trade, to negotiate, and to make deals that would shape the future of their worlds. Walked through the main corridor with her hands clasped behind her back. She was a small woman with black hair tied in a simple knot. Her eyes moved slowly across the crowd, taking in everything. Beside her walked Sung, a man with broad shoulders and an easy smile. He nodded at every alien they passed, and most of them looked away quickly. Humans had been part of the Galactic Union for only 3 years. In that time they had earned a reputation, not for strength, not for technology, not for any quality that the galaxy respected. No, humans were known for being friendly, helpful, eager to please. The other species found them amusing at best and pathetic at worst. A diplomat named watched the two humans approach the reception hall. He stood nearly 3 meters tall, with a hard shell covering his body and 6 legs that clicked against the metal floor. His compound eyes studied the humans with something close to pity. "The prey animals have arrived," he said to his assistant. "Look at them. No claws, no armor, no venom. How did they even survive on there?" His assistant, a younger, clicked his mandibles in agreement. "I have heard their planet is very mild. Gentle weather, weak predators. They evolved without any real challenges." Made a sound of amusement. "That explains much. They are like children who were never forced to grow strong." Inside the reception hall, Station Master waited near the main table. He was a species known for their size and natural armor. His body was covered in thick plates of bone, and his arms could crush metal. When he saw the humans enter, he smiled in the way his people did, pulling back his lips to show rows of flat teeth. "Ah, the human delegation," he said, his voice deep and rumbling. "Welcome, welcome. Please come and join us. We have prepared food that should be safe for your biology." Bowed her head politely. "Thank you, Station Master. We are grateful for your hospitality." "Such manners," said, glancing at. "They are like trained pets, are they not?" Clicked in amusement. "Indeed, harmless and eager to please." Sung kept smiling. His eyes moved across the room, counting exits, noting the positions of guards, measuring distances. No one noticed. They saw only a friendly human with a simple expression. The reception continued through the evening cycle. Representatives from 12 species ate, drank, and discussed trade agreements. The humans stayed quiet for the most part. They listened more than they spoke. They agreed easily when others made demands. They asked polite questions and accepted whatever answers they were given. At one point approached directly. He towered over her, his shadow covering her completely. "I have always wondered about humans," he said. "Your species has no natural weapons. How do you defend yourselves on your—" Looked up at him without any sign of fear. "We are very adaptable," she said. "We learn to use our environment." "But surely you must have predators, large carnivores that hunt your kind." "We did," said, "long ago." "And how did you survive? Did you hide? Did you run?" Smile did not change, something like that. Laughed, the sound harsh and clicking. "As I thought, a species of runners and hiders. It is a wonder you ever reached the stars." "We are full of surprises," Sung said from nearby. His tone was light and friendly. Turned to look at him. "Is that so? What surprises could prey animals possibly offer?" Before Sung could answer, alarms began to sound. The lights in the reception hall flickered and turned red. A voice came over the station's communication system, speaking in the common galactic language. "Attention all personnel. Unidentified fleet has surrounded the station. All security teams report to command. This is not a drill." The room fell into chaos. Aliens of all species began shouting, pushing toward the exits, demanding information. Roared for order, but his voice was lost in the panic. Only the two humans remained calm, and Sung exchanged a look. It lasted less than a second, but something passed between them, an understanding, a shift. "Pirates," finally announced, his voice cutting through the noise. "The collective. They have 40 ships surrounding us. They demand our immediate surrender." The panic grew worse. They were infamous across the galaxy. They were a species of reptilian predators who took what they wanted and killed anyone who resisted. Entire colonies had been wiped out by their raids. They were considered one of the most dangerous species in known space. Shell had gone pale, his legs trembled slightly. "We cannot fight their warriors are bred for killing. They are apex predators." "Then we must surrender," another diplomat said. "Perhaps they will take what they want and leave." "They do not leave survivors," said heavily. "They take slaves, they take resources, and then they destroy what remains to send a message." The room went quiet. Fear hung in the air like a fog. Raised her hand politely. "Excuse me, how many humans are currently on this station?" Stared at her. Why does that matter?" "I would like to know, please." The station master checked his records with a confused expression. 12. There are 12 humans on Nexus 7. Nodded slowly. She turned to Sung, and again that silent communication passed between them. "Thank you," she said. "That will be enough." Made a clicking sound of disbelief. "Enough? Enough for what? Do you think 12 of your soft, weak people can do anything against the—" Looked at him. Her expression had not changed. Her smile was still polite, but something in her eyes was different now. Something that could not quite identify. It made him uncomfortable in a way he did not understand. "We should gather the other humans," Sung said. "Let them know what is happening." "Yes," agreed. "They will want to help." They walked toward the exit together, moving through the crowd of panicked aliens with strange calm. No one tried to stop them. No one thought they mattered. Watched them go. For a moment, just a brief moment, he felt something he had not felt in many years. It was a cold sensation at the base of his spine, a warning from deep in his brain. He shook it off. They were only humans after all. What could they possibly do? The station shook as the ships locked onto the docking ports. Through the windows, their vessels looked like dark metal teeth closing around Nexus 7. Each ship was covered in spikes and scorch marks from countless raids. They were built for terror as much as for war. In the lower maintenance bay, Ho wiped grease from his hands and looked up at the ceiling. The alarms had been screaming for 10 minutes now. He was a thin man with tired eyes, an engineer who had been fixing a cargo ship's engine when the attack began. The alien workers around him had already fled, running toward what they hoped would be safe areas. His communicator beeped. He answered it. "Ho, this is, where are you?" "Maintenance Bay 7. What is happening up there?" "Pirates, they have surrounded the station. Meet us at junction point 42. Bring anyone you find." Ho did not ask questions. He had served with before, years ago, in a different place and a different time. He knew that tone in her voice. It meant things were about to get serious. "Understood, I am on my way." In the medical wing was finishing a surgery on a worker who had been injured in a factory accident. Her hands were steady, her movements precise. When the alarm started, she did not panic. She finished the procedure, sealed the wound, and only then did she look up at her assistant. "What is the situation?" "Pirates doctor, the collective. Station security is telling everyone to shelter in place." Removed her surgical gloves with calm movements. "Is that what we are doing?" Her communicator buzzed before the assistant could answer. She listened for a moment, then nodded. "I need to go. Keep the patient stable. Do not open this door for anyone you do not recognize." She left without looking back. One by one, the humans on Nexus 7 received the same message. A cargo handler with arms stronger than they looked put down a crate that weighed 300 kilograms and walked away from her workstation. Sungmin, a chef in the station's main restaurant, carefully wrapped his best knives in cloth and slipped them into his bag. Boram, a pilot waiting for her ship to be refueled, left her drink on the bar and headed for the lower levels. They moved through the panicked crowds without attracting attention. They were just humans after all. Small, soft, unremarkable. The aliens rushing past them did not give them a second look. When arrived at junction point 42, 10 humans were already waiting. Sung stood near the entrance, watching the corridor. The others sat or stood in a loose circle, their faces calm but alert. "Two more coming," Sung said. "Ho and the pilot Boram." Nodded, she looked at the group. "You all know what is happening." Raid said, "I have seen what they do. I was on station when they hit the colony next door." "Then you know they do not negotiate. They do not show mercy." "Yes." Ho arrived, breathing slightly fast from running. Boram came right behind him. 12 humans stood together in the dim corridor, lit only by emergency lights. "Station security has collapsed," said. "The guards are not fighting. The diplomats are hiding. No one is going to protect the people on this station." "Except us," Sung said. It was not a question. "There are 50 pirates on board now. They have taken the control room and are gathering hostages in the main hall, about 200 beings. They will probably take some as slaves and kill the rest." Sungmin, the chef, pulled a knife from his bag and checked its edge. "What is the plan?" Turned to Ho. "Can you access the station's systems from the maintenance networks?" "Maybe. The main systems are locked out, but the maintenance tunnels have their own power grid. If I can reach the secondary control node, I might be able to restore some functions." "Good, that is your job. Take with you. We will need medical support ready." She looked at Boram. "The ships are docked at ports 15 through 22. Can you reach them?" Boram's eyes narrowed as she thought. "If I go through the cargo tunnels, yes. But what do you want me to do? I cannot fly their ships." "You do not need to fly them. Just make sure they cannot fly either. Disable the fuel systems. Damage the engines. Whatever you can do quietly." "I can do quiet. The rest of us will deal with the pirates inside the station." His voice was steady and cold. "We do not have weapons. We do not have armor, but we have something they do not expect." "What is that?" asked. Sung smiled, and for the first time it was not a friendly smile. "Patience." Pulled up a map on her communicator. "They are ambush predators. They attack fast and hard, and they expect their prey to run or fight immediately. They are not used to prey that watches, that waits, that learns." "We are going to hunt them," Sungmin said, understanding. "We are going to make them afraid," corrected. "Fear makes hunters careless. When they are careless, we will take them down, one by one. No killing unless absolutely necessary. We want prisoners, not bodies." "Why?" asked. "Because dead pirates tell no stories. We want survivors. We want them to go back to their fleet and tell them what happened here. We want the entire collective to hear about the night they tried to raid a station with humans on it." The group was silent for a moment. Then Sung laughed, a low and quiet sound. "I like it, terror for terror." Assigned each person a sector. She gave them communication frequencies and hand signals. She explained how to move through the maintenance corridors, how to use the darkness, how to track their prey without being seen. The aliens above them thought humans were weak because they had no claws, no fangs, no venom. They did not understand that humans had evolved something far more dangerous. Humans could run for hours without stopping. They could track prey across entire continents. They could communicate silently across distances. They could form hunting packs in minutes and coordinate without words. And most importantly, humans could be patient. They could wait in the dark for hours, days, weeks, if that was what the hunt required. "Move out," said. "Stay quiet, stay hidden, report everything you see. And remember, they think we are prey. Let them keep thinking that until it is too late." The 12 humans disappeared into the station's maintenance tunnels, moving like shadows through the metal corridors. In the main hall above, Captain of the stood among his hostages and laughed. His guards were positioning themselves at every entrance. His scouts were searching the station for valuables. He had done this 100 times before. It was always the same. The weak species cowered, the strong species tried to fight and failed, and took what they wanted. This raid would be no different. He did not notice that somewhere in the darkness of the station, 12 pairs of eyes were watching him, waiting, learning. The hunt had begun. His name was, and he had been stationed at Corridor Junction 17. He was a young warrior, eager to prove himself. When his commander ordered him to watch the dark passage that led to the lower levels, he took the duty seriously. He stood with his weapon ready, his night vision eyes scanning every shadow. He never saw what took him. One moment he was standing. The next moment something wrapped around his throat from behind. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. He tried to fight, but his arms would not move. There was pressure on his neck, cutting off blood to his brain. The darkness closed in. His last thought was confusion. When he woke up, he was tied with cables in a storage room, his weapon gone and his mouth sealed with industrial tape. The patrol found his empty post 20 minutes later. They searched the area but found nothing. No blood, no signs of struggle, just an empty corridor and a missing guard. Commander reported to Captain, "We have lost contact with one of the perimeter guards." Waved his clawed hand. Probably hiding somewhere, the coward, find him and punish him. But they could not find him. 2 hours later, 3 more guards vanished. They had been patrolling in a group, moving through the cargo area. When they did not report in, a search team was sent. They found the guards' weapons lying on the floor in a neat row. No bodies, no trails, nothing. Began to pay attention. "Something is hunting my warriors," he growled. "Find it and kill it." He sent 10 of his best hunters into the station's lower levels. They moved in pairs, covering each other, using their predator instincts to track any movement. They had been bred for this. Nothing in the galaxy could hunt them. In the maintenance tunnels below, listened to her communicator and smiled. "They are splitting up," Sung's voice said quietly. 2 coming towards Section 9, 2 more moving toward the power plant. "Sungmin, take the Section 9 pair. Remember, quiet and fast, we want them alive." "Understood," replied. Looked at the map on her small screen. They were moving predictably. They searched areas one by one, clearing rooms and corridors like they had been trained. But they did not understand this station the way the humans now did. Ho had accessed the maintenance network. He could see where every was moving through heat sensors and motion detectors. The aliens did not know they were being watched. Crouched in a ventilation shaft above Section 9, she could hear the 2 below, their heavy feet clicking on the metal floor. They were talking in their rough language, complaining about the cold and the dark. She waited. One of them stopped directly below her. He looked up, but his night vision showed only empty darkness. The ventilation shaft was too small for it to enter. He did not consider that a human could fit inside it easily. Dropped. She landed on his shoulders, wrapping her legs around his neck and her arms around his head. Before he could react, she squeezed. The blood flow to his brain stopped. He fell forward, unconscious before he hit the ground. His partner turned and raised his weapon, but Sungmin was already behind him, moving out of the shadows. The chef's knife was not for killing. It was for cutting. He slashed the straps holding this weapon, then swept the alien's legs. When they fell, Sungmin's arm was around his throat. 30 seconds later, both guards were unconscious and bound. "Section 9 clear," reported. Across the station, similar scenes played out. The humans did not fight directly. They attacked from angles they did not expect, from above, from behind, from the darkness itself. Sung took down a guard by waiting in a closet for 45 minutes without moving. When they opened the door to search it, Sung was already moving. The alien never had a chance to raise an alarm. Boram used a different approach. She climbed through the station's exterior hull, moving in the zero-gravity spaces between the inner and outer walls. When she reached the ships, she found them guarded by only 2 warriors. She watched them for an hour, learning their patrol patterns. When one went inside to check the ship systems, she moved on the other. A piece of cable from the maintenance supply became a weapon. The guard was unconscious in 5 seconds. The second guard came out to find his partner missing. He looked around, confused. He called out. No response. Boram dropped from above like it taught her. The guard went down hard. She entered the first ship and found the fuel lines. She did not cut them. That would be too obvious. Instead, she loosened connections, created small leaks, damaged circuits in ways that would not show until someone tried to launch. In the main hall, Captain was getting reports that made no sense. 12 guards missing. No bodies, no witnesses, nothing on the cameras. Scales had darkened with anger. This is impossible. What could be doing this? There are no warriors on the station, only traders and diplomats. One of his lieutenants spoke carefully. Sir, we have searched the security records. There are 12 humans on the station. Humans laughed. Those soft things, they cannot even see in darkness. Their claws are like pebbles. You think humans are taking my warriors? I do not know, sir, but they are the only ones we have not accounted for. All other species are either in this hall or hiding in locked rooms. Considered this. He had heard of humans, small, weak creatures from a mild planet. They were known for being friendly and submissive. The idea that they could threaten warriors was laughable. But 12 of his guards were missing. Find the humans, he ordered. Bring them to me, alive. I want to see what these creatures think they are doing. In a hidden corner of the station, checked her count. 22 guards captured, 28 remaining in the main hall with the hostages. The plan was working. Ho, how close are you to restoring the station's cameras? 10 minutes, maybe less. I have the secondary grid online. The aliens in the main hall will be able to see what is happening. Good, they need to see. They need to understand. Was among the hostages in the main hall. His legs were folded beneath him, his compound eyes fixed on the floor. He had never felt fear like this before. There were everything there were not. They were brutal, efficient killers. And yet something strange was happening. Guards were disappearing. The captain was becoming nervous. Could see it in the way paced, the way his eyes darted to every shadow. What could possibly be frightening? The lights in the hall flickered. For a moment, the security screens on the walls came to life. Everyone, hostages and pirates alike, looked up. The screens showed footage from different parts of the station. Dark corridors, empty rooms, and there, barely visible in the shadows, movement. Saw a human woman drop from a ceiling and take down a guard in 3 seconds. He saw a human man move through complete darkness as if he could see perfectly. He saw humans working together without speaking, communicating with only hand signals and glances. He saw predators hunting. The screens went dark again, but the damage was done. The hostages had seen, roared with rage and fear. They are just humans, they are prey. How are they doing this? No one had an answer. In the tunnels below, heard the roar and smiled. The hunt was entering its final phase. It was time for the prey to meet the predator face to face. Captain stood in the center of the main hall, surrounded by his remaining 28 warriors. The hostages cowered in groups along the walls, watching with wide eyes. Something had changed in the room. They who had entered as conquerors now looked like animals cornered by something they could not understand. Lock every door, commanded. No one enters or leaves. We hold this position until the ships are ready to launch. His lieutenant tried the communication device. Sir, we cannot reach the ships. The signal is being blocked. Then send runners. The runners are not coming back, sir. His claws scraped against the metal floor. In all his years of raiding, he had never faced anything like this. His warriors were some of the most dangerous predators in the galaxy. They had conquered dozens of worlds. They had never lost a battle. But they were losing now. He could feel it. The lights in the hall flickered again. When they came back on, the security screens were active. Ho had completed his work on the secondary control node. Now everyone could see what was happening throughout the station. The footage showed the captured guards. They were bound, unconscious but alive, laid out in rows in a storage bay. 32 warriors taken without a single death. Watched the screen with disbelief. His finest hunters defeated by creatures half their size. It was impossible. Then the footage changed. It showed the ships at the docking ports. Fuel leaked from their hulls. Engine panels hung open, wires cut and circuits damaged. None of them would fly. "We are trapped," the lieutenant whispered. A voice came over the station's communication system. It was a woman's voice, calm and clear. "Captain of the collective, this is of the human delegation. Your warriors are captured. Your ships are disabled. You have no escape. I am offering you one chance to surrender peacefully." Grabbed the nearest communication panel. "You are one small human. You think you can threaten the— I have 28 warriors here. I have 200 hostages. You will surrender to me or I will kill them all." There was a pause. Then's voice came again, still perfectly calm. "You have made a mistake, Captain. You believe you are the predator here. You are not. You have been prey since the moment you boarded this station. You simply did not know it yet." The main doors at the far end of the hall slid open. Sung walked in alone. He was not armed. He wore simple civilian clothes. He walked slowly, his hands visible at his sides. Every weapon in the room turned toward him. Laughed. It was a harsh barking sound. "This is your champion, one soft human with no weapons. You insult me." Sung stopped 10 meters from the captain. He looked at the warriors around him, counting them with his eyes. Then he looked at— "I am here to accept your surrender," he said. Moved faster than any creature his size should be able to move. He crossed the distance in 2 strides, his claws reaching for Sung's throat. Sung was not there. He had stepped to the side at the last moment, turning his body just enough to let his attack pass harmlessly. The captain stumbled forward, confused. He turned and attacked again. Again, Sung moved, flowing around the strike like water. The hostages watched in stunned silence. The warriors raised their weapons, but they could not fire without hitting their captain. All they could do was watch. Attacked again and again. His strikes were powerful, fast, deadly. Any of them could have killed Sung instantly, but none of them connected. The human was always somewhere else, always just out of reach. "Stand still and fight," roared. "This is fighting," Sung said calmly. "You simply do not recognize it." The battle continued. Was one of the most dangerous warriors his species had ever produced. He had killed opponents 3 times his size. He had never lost a fight. But Sung was not trying to win. He was waiting. Minutes passed. Attacks grew slower. His breathing became heavy. His movements lost their precision. There were ambush predators evolved for short, intense bursts of violence. They were not built for extended combat. Humans were. Sung had been moving for 6 hours now, ever since the siege began. He had captured guards, crawled through tunnels, and coordinated attacks across the entire station. And he showed no sign of tiredness. "What are you?" gasped, his claws trembling with exhaustion. "I am human," Sung said. "We are persistence hunters. Our ancestors chased prey across plains for days until the prey collapsed from exhaustion. We do not need to be faster than you or stronger than you. We just need to outlast you." Tried one more attack. It was weak, desperate. Sung caught his arm, twisted, and the captain fell to his knees. A moment later, he was on the floor, Sung's knee on his back and his arms locked behind him. The other stared. Their captain, the most powerful warrior they knew, had been defeated by a creature they considered prey. The other doors opened. More humans entered. There were only 12 of them, but they moved with confidence that made them seem like an army. Walk to the center of the room. Your captain is captured. Your ships cannot fly. Your warriors are already our prisoners. You can surrender now or you can fight. But I want you to understand something before you choose. She looked around the room, meeting the eyes of every warrior. We did not kill any of your people we could have. It would have been easier, but we chose not to. We are giving you a chance to live. That is not weakness. That is control. That is what real predators do. We choose when to hunt, when to fight, and when to show mercy. The warriors looked at each other. They looked at their captain, still pinned to the floor. They looked at the humans, small and soft and completely unafraid. One by one, they put down their weapons. Watched from his place among the hostages. His compound eyes had recorded everything. He would never forget what he had seen tonight. The friendly, harmless humans he had mocked just hours ago were not what they appeared to be. They were something far more dangerous, something the galaxy had never seen before. As the surrendered moved through the crowd toward, the massive towered over her, but somehow she did not seem small. "You saved us," he said, his voice filled with something like awe. 12 of you saved 200 hostages from 50 warriors. How is this possible?" Looked up at him. "We are humans," she said simply. "This is what we do." "But you are prey. You have no natural weapons, no armor, no venom." Sung laughed from where he stood over the captured captain. "We gave up natural weapons millions of years ago. We did not need them. We became something better." "What?" asked. "The thing that hunts everything else." 3 days after the siege ended, the entire galaxy was talking about what happened on Nexus 7. News broadcasts played the security footage on every inhabited world. Billions of beings watched as 12 humans systematically dismantled a raiding force. They watched guards disappear into shadows. They watched Sung exhaust Captain without throwing a single punch. They watched predators become prey. The Galactic Science Council called an emergency session. Their topic was simple: what were humans really? Scientists from 12 species presented their findings. Each revelation added to the growing sense of unease that spread through the watching galaxy. "Humans can track prey by scent alone," a researcher announced. "Their olfactory system can detect chemical traces days after the source has passed. They use this ability to follow our warriors through the station. Their endurance exceeds any known species," a biologist added. "The human cardiovascular system allows them to maintain activity for periods that would kill any other creature. They can literally chase prey until it dies from exhaustion. Their pattern recognition is remarkable," a third scientist continued. "Human brains process environmental information and predict behavior with unusual accuracy. They can anticipate an opponent's actions before the opponent themselves has decided. They heal rapidly," another researcher noted. "Injuries that would disable other species for weeks heal in days. They can function through pain that would incapacitate most life forms. And perhaps most disturbing," the lead presenter said, "they form pack bonds almost instantly. The 12 humans on Nexus 7 had never worked together before. Most had only known each other for a few hours. Yet they coordinated as a single hunting unit, communicating through signals so subtle we cannot detect them." The council chamber fell silent. On screens throughout the room, images of Earth appeared. It looked like a paradise. Blue oceans, green forests, white clouds drifting across a gentle atmosphere. "We classified Earth as a mild planet," the presenter said. "We were wrong." The images changed. Now they showed Earth's history: volcanoes erupting across continents, ice ages covering half the planet, asteroids striking the surface, predators that made the look gentle, diseases that could kill billions. Earth is not a mild planet. It is a Class 12 death world. The radiation from its sun causes cellular damage. Its weather patterns include storms that can destroy cities. It has experienced multiple extinction events that killed most life on the surface. The presenter paused, and humans conquered it. They hunted its greatest predators to extinction. They survived ice ages and plagues and disasters that should have destroyed them. They did not just survive their death world. They dominated it so completely that they forgot it was ever dangerous. Across the galaxy, beings watched with new understanding. The friendly humans who asked politely for trade agreements. The helpful humans who offered assistance without being asked. The soft, weak humans with no claws or fangs or armor. They were not weak. They had simply stopped needing to show their strength. On Nexus 7, found in one of the observation lounges, she sat alone, looking out at the stars with a cup of dark liquid in her hands. "May I join you?" he asked. Nodded without looking at him. The ambassador folded his legs beneath him and sat on the bench beside her. For a long moment, neither spoke. "I owe you an apology," finally said. "I mocked you, I called you prey, I was wrong." "Yes," agreed, "you were. Why did you not correct me? You could have shown us what you were at any time." Took a sip of her drink. "Because we do not need to. We are not looking for fear or respect. We came to the galaxy to trade, to learn, to make friends. We show kindness because we choose to be kind, not because we are weak. But you are apex predators. The footage shows it clearly. You hunt like nothing we have ever seen." "Apex predators can afford to be gentle," said. "It is the weak who must prove their strength. We have nothing to prove. We know what we are." Entered the lounge, his heavy feet shaking the floor slightly. He looked uncomfortable, which was strange for they were not known for discomfort. "I have spent 3 days researching human history," he said. "I found something I need to ask you about." Turned to look at him, ask. "Your species has been in space for less than 500 years. In that time, you have developed technology that took other species thousands of years to create. But that is not what interests me." He paused. "What interests me is what you did before space." "And what did we do?" "You hunted everything, every large predator on your planet, every creature that might threaten you. You did not just kill them when they attacked. You tracked them across continents. You followed their herds. You watched them for generations, and then you eliminated them." His voice dropped. "You made your entire world safe by removing everything that was not you." Nodded slowly. "That is true, though it is more complicated than you make it sound." "I am not finished. After you removed the predators, you turned on each other. Your history is filled with wars, conflicts, violence between your own kind. You hunt everything, including yourselves." Sung appeared in the doorway. He had been listening. "That is also true." Looked between the two humans. "Then why should we trust you? If your nature is to hunt and eliminate threats, why would you not eventually see us as threats?" Stood and walked to the window. She looked out at the stars for a long moment before answering. "Because we are tired," she said softly. "We spent 100,000 years hunting. We spent 10,000 years fighting each other. And somewhere along the way, we learned that there are better ways to live. We learned that cooperation is more effective than competition. We learned that kindness builds stronger bonds than fear." She turned to face the two aliens. "We came to the stars hopping to find something different. Friends, partners, a galaxy where we could be more than what our evolution made us. We hide our nature not because we are ashamed of it, but because we hope to become something better." Sung moved to stand beside her. "The galaxy classified us as prey because they saw no claws, no fangs, no armor. They did not understand that we traded those things for something more powerful: intelligence, endurance, the ability to change. We are the only species that can choose to be different from what we were born to be." His mandibles clicked softly. "You are saying that you choose not to hunt us." "We choose every day," confirmed. Every time we smile instead of snarl, every time we offer trade instead of war, every time we show kindness instead of strength, we are apex predators, yes, but we are also more than that. We are apex predators who want to be friends. Was silent for a long time. Then he laughed, a deep rumbling sound that shook the room. You are the strangest species I have ever met, he said. Predators who want peace, hunters who offer friendship, you make no sense. Sung smiled. We know we confuse ourselves sometimes. A broadcast signal chimed through the station. A news announcement was being transmitted galaxy-wide. They all turned to listen. The Galactic Union has officially reclassified the human from Category 3 mild to Category 12 death world. Additionally, the human species has been reclassified from potential prey to apex predator, socially integrated. All member species are advised to update their diplomatic protocols accordingly. Laughed quietly. It was a warm sound, nothing like the cold efficiency she had shown during the siege. Socially integrated, she repeated. I like that. It sounds much nicer than what we used to call ourselves. What did you call yourselves? Asked. Looked at him with a smile that showed just a hint of teeth. The species that won. Outside the observation window, the stars burned in the eternal darkness. Somewhere out there, other species were receiving the news. They were learning that the friendly humans who asked polite questions and offered helpful advice were something more than they appeared. The galaxy had changed. The prey animals were not prey, the weak species was not weak, and the universe would never look at humanity the same way again. Finished her drink and turned to her fellow humans. We should get back to work. Those trade agreements are not going to negotiate themselves. Sung laughed and followed her toward the door. Behind them and watched them go, two small humans walking through a station full of aliens who now knew exactly what they were. And for the first time in galactic history, the apex predators were the ones offering peace.